pick up where we left off. Oh, goodness. All right. Hi, Chad, Rashawn. Hi, Diva. If my connection goes out, I do not mind coming back. I hope you guys are all doing wonderful today. We're doing our interview and welcoming our new co-host, Marcodeprence. So I'm going to add them back in as soon as they get in here. Um, I hope you guys are doing well this Thanksgiving Eve. Again, if my connection goes out, I do not mind coming back and starting a new live. It tends to do that from time to time. So y'all know how IG be tripping. So we're back. Hi, No Goofy. Welcome, boo. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Style by Stevie Daytime. As you guys know, I'm the beautiful hostess and creator for Style by Stevie. I'm Miss Stevie. I had to start all over. My old page is gone, y'all. Am I cooking? I don't think my mom says she is not. If you guys checked out my interview yesterday that I did with I forgot his name, Antoine Wells. My mom says she is not making nothing. The only thing we made today was turkey so far. So I don't know if we're gonna do more macaroni, but I definitely will be chipping in. And then I think my brother them is supposed to be coming now. So yeah. But what about you guys? We're waiting on Marco and we're waiting on. All right, Carlos is back. Let me add him, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to add my new co-host back. Alrighty. If it goes out, I do not mind coming back, you guys. All right, and we're back. We're waiting on Marco. All right, there he is, and we're back. I'm cooking a full meal. What you making? All right, we're back. Everyone was telling me what they were making for the holidays. We'll get to that. But I think we stopped on where Carlos was telling us where he was from. And I'm going to pass it on down to Marco.
We actually got into his acting career and his modeling. So, yeah, he explained why he started acting and things. So, if you want to elaborate just a little.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, acting particularly was something that I've had a passion for since maybe senior high school, and I was just intrigued with the creativity of people as the writers, the creative staffs, producers, special effects, and things of that nature. And I've always been involved with production, so I've always been able to kind of see something from the beginning, from just a thought, and just seeing how things manifest, and to the actual release of the film and premiere of, and that's with music or that's with film or anything like that. But with modeling, that was something that I kind of hopped out the look, I have the personality, I have the style, I have the height, and that's where I was just like, the things that I was holding on for like for a few years. I just believe that God just say, hey, just go out there and just have faith with it.
Yes, have faith in all your dreams and, make sure that you're doing it because you want to do it and not because, you think it's a good idea or it's easy.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm a strong advocate of just doing what you love and enjoy doing, because you only have one life to live. And if you don't live the life that you desire or vision, and you hold yourself back, you're not gonna achieve the level of happiness that you like, and you're gonna be miserable, and then you're gonna look back, in your later years, and you're gonna be like, man, I should have did this, I should have did that, or I wish I had not done that. So, so I'm like, it doesn't matter, how much I make. Like my primary thing is just to be happy in life. And I know through that would afford the riches for me. But just happiness is one of the most important things for me in life. So, acting was something that I wanted to do, modeling was something that I wanted to do. And I kind of pretty much structured every part of my life for things that I actually want to do and not have to do. So I'm looking to achieve that level of freedom, that spiritual freedom where I'm free. I can get up and go. And, they say, if you do what you love, then you never work a day in your life. So I'm not really trying to work, and I'm not trying to work for people, even though I know like for a time period, I will do it, but it's only to position me and to leverage me to my next steps in life.
That's dope.
Okay. Absolutely. It's all about, and I love the fact that you said it's all about going for what you love. You and Marco said the same thing. It's all about manifestation, and that's something that I truly, truly believe in. It's going for what you're passionate about. I live life through what I like to call fire, and I'm all about going for what is definitely out there in the universe for me. My mom always told me, seek better opportunities. There's nothing wrong with new beginnings.
Right.
Yes, definitely. Especially if you know that you deserve more and you cannot wait on people to give that to you. You have to go out there and get it yourself.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. So before we pass this interview on to my co-host so that he can ask you some questions, my next question is for you. With everything, how can I say it? Because I ask this question a lot. It's been difficult for everybody. We never expected that this was going to happen. This pandemic was going to happen. A lot of people have just kind of been put on pause, like auditions, a lot of things, guidelines, set restrictions, all of these things out here. How have you been managing with being apart from family and things? And I know tomorrow's Thanksgiving, which we'll get into that, but how have you been managing, staying sane with everything that's going on? Because it's crazy. We never expected this to happen.
Well, as far as family, when the pandemic first hit, we saw much less of each other because, everyone was scared and nervous that, we were going to contract everyone and, things were going to happen. If we got together, like in a social environment. But as things slowly passed, then the time passed, and we saw more of each other. Like we just recently had a family reunion just recently on my mother's side, which is something that we didn't do the year prior. And so like it was hard not seeing family because that's the most important thing to me. But I understood the times, and I have a very loving family, and no matter how far I am physically, they're always close to me, emotionally, spiritually. So I take them with me everywhere I go. But yeah, Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to being with them as well. As far as just managing, period, mentally, emotionally. Um, I I've always believed in blessings in disguises, and I'm a very optimistic person. And God gives you the discernment to discern the difference between those things and the peace as well. So, I just had peace the whole time through. I believed that, wherever I was and whatever position I was in, that it would continue to get better. And I would definitely say that things has just have been increased, just overflowing of blessings.
Absolutely, 100%. Again, it goes back to what I was saying, all about manifestation
Manifestation.
and having faith. For those of you who do believe, you truly believe
Yes,
that.
yes, it's all in your mindset. It's all in your mindset what you believe. If you believe that you can achieve it, you can and you will. But it definitely starts
Absolutely.
within. Yeah, but it definitely starts within. You know, it's in your mind, it's in your heart. You know, and your faith is your belief level. And why do something if you don't completely believe in it or yourself? You know that it's going to happen. You're just wasting time and energy, honestly.
Exactly. Exactly. And time is so precious. I tell people that all the time. Like, find something. Don't just sit around and wait for it. Get up and go make that opportunity to happen.
Yes, yes. And I honestly, you know, I used to take time for granted. I would definitely say. But the older and the wiser that I have gotten, I realize how valuable time is. And I was actually, I stopped at a gas station earlier today, before I hit the road. And, you know, this guy, I was trying to get some, quarters from the clerk to put air in my tire, and the clerk didn't have any quarters. So the guy behind me said, "Hey, I have some quarters in my car." So we got in a discussion, conversation, and basically, you know, he asked me, you know, what else do I do besides the work that I do and things of that nature. And you know, after I told him everything that I do, and then I say, besides that, you know, I'm just trying to sleep. And he was just basically telling me like, don't sleep your life away. You know, make sure I stay consistent on the schedule, and that, you know, time is the most precious thing. And it's about how you manage your time and how you manage your energy within, you know, within that process of you living your life. So I believe that, like, you know, most people, you know, they say that, you know, you're supposed to get, you know, 8 hours of sleep. However, I don't believe that. You know, I believe that it's about how much energy your body can take, and that has a lot to do with how you, take care of yourself. You know, what you eat, what you consume, and things of that nature. So I used to sleep a lot when I had the time, but the more things that I acquired and put on my plate, the less time that I have, and that's the less time that I have to sleep as well. But I feel like, I'm having more energy because of how I'm managing things and how I'm managing my, you know, my personal health and everything like that.
Absolutely. Self care is so important with everything that's going on. We have to take care of ourselves, not just mentally, spiritually, all of that in tune. I was reading that in Essence. So, yeah.
Yes, don't forget about your self care Sundays, y'all.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
definitely, definitely. And I honestly, you know, on a day to day basis, you know, I kind of like try to put myself in positions where I can have the time to cater to my spirit. But I definitely want to devote more time or more days to self care. You know, sometimes I look at, you know, like, you know, casting calls and things of that nature as like self care, because when I go out of town, you know, I'm in a hotel and I just kind of just relax there. But once I'm back home, just work.
You got to find that balance. It's all about balance.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Marco, you have any questions for Carlos?
Yes, Carlos, I have a question. Who would you want to work with in the film industry, and what would that project look like?
Ryan Coogler, I would definitely say. I would love to work with him. You know, it'd be like a superhero film, you know, that includes villains, and you know, there's a little struggle of romance between the hero and his lover, and maybe she's in distress or something, and he has to come rescue her.
Okay. Well, y'all heard it here first. If we see that project out on the screen, we know that it was from this conversation.
Yes, yes. Definitely. And I don't put no cap on God or possibilities, you know?
Mhm.
I don't, because I believe that anything can happen in life. Anything is possible.
Yes, anything and everything.
I'm telling you, it's all about manifestation and dreaming. And people say, oh, well, you're too old to imagine. No, you're never too old to imagine. It's always great to use your imagination. It's always great to put things out there in the universe. You know, God always has something in store for you. I'm telling you.
Yes, yes. Yeah, you definitely have to imagine and inspire for something greater because that's what's gonna climb you. You know, that's what's gonna motivate you to continue to reach it and achieving more goals. A person who doesn't have an imagination or any inspiration, you know, they're spiritually dead. You know, they're just living life with the factors that are giving to them, supposed to creating their own factors in their own life. And that's what I believe, that you know, you create the life that you like to see, you create what you want out of your life, you know, and you have to use you know, discernment, you have to use wisdom, you know, along that route, so that you know you're making the right decisions. But you know, you definitely, you know, you can definitely create whatever like you see. And that's why I just motivate everyone that I know, or you know, just my my number one thing is personal development. You know, just being larger than you know, being bigger than you. And I understand the source of our energy, so I allow that to continue to fuel me.
Absolutely. 100%. All right, so the next part of the conversation is what brings you joy? There's got to be something or someone that influences you to keep going. What brings Corlos joy?
My family, and I would say my present family, the family that you know I was birthed into. You know, my mothers, my sisters, my brothers, my father. Um, you know, just my cousins. You know, they bring me joy. I would say also, you know, just my future family. You know, because right now I am currently single and unmarried. So I know that one day I will have, you know, a family. So, you know, just thinking about things long termly, opposed to short termly, looking to invest in the future. So I'm like, you know, I have to get it now, you know, and I vision what those things will look like in the future. And that also motivates me. But just, you know, just knowing that my family is safe and knowing that my family is happy, I think that's the most important thing to me. Like a lot of times, you know, I'm the person that I don't mind taking the emotional sacrifice, knowing that my family is okay. You know, knowing that they're happy and at peace. You know, it's not much things that upsets me in life. There's not much things that affect me. You know, that can hurt me at least. You know, I would say that, you know, emotionally I connect very well with people, but my conscious level won't allow me to feel the, like I can feel the emotions, but I won't like actually like, you know, sometimes people create situations, you know, emotional situations, and and they're unreal. So I try to filter out, you know, how I spread my energy, and my family is the only thing that really like would have me in a place where I'm like, okay, like I'm hurt right now, or
It's very it's very smoothing talking to you. So yeah.
thank you, Marco. I appreciate that. Same to you, brother. Same to you.
And we're
I
back. We
knew.
talked about. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, no, no. Go ahead, Steve.
Yes, I was saying you talked a lot about family. It's always great to have a strong support circle around you 100%. And I thrive off of that as well, too.
Yes, that it's important. It's important. because you can't. It's like like people like to say I'm self-made, but I don't want to have that particular perception in life or that mindset in life. Like I know that wherever I've gotten to the place that I'm at in life, and it was because of people, and it was because of God and how I allowed God to use me, and how God used other people to help me along the route. So having a strong support system, people who believe in you, that's very important. Because sometimes life can get lonely, and if you look around and there's no one around that you can love on or that can support you, excuse me, then you're gonna feel lonely. And like I say, like I'm not I'm not in the business of being miserable. I'm not in the business of being depressed in life. And I know that, some people do go through depression. Um, so that's why it's important for me to try to instill myself and give myself all the principles that's going to allow me to keep that fire lit and not slow me down. Because some days, and I believe that we all experience it. Some days, you don't feel like getting up. Some days you're emotionally beat up, spiritually beat up, physically beat up, and you're like, man, like why did I do this? But what, you know, to as much as that you want to do, like it's more required. If you have a large vision, then it's required that you work harder, you do more. So, so I just, whenever I need some support, I just call a friend, or I just talk to my mother, who's been the biggest support in my life since day one. And I love her, a beautiful queen. And she taught me a lot about life and a lot about people and the perspective that you have to have in life. So, so I always allow my family to, uplift me if I needed to.
That's right. And my mom always tells me this, never forget the ones that have helped you get to where you need to be. So that's what
Yeah.
it's about. Humbling. It's a humbling experience. I'm telling you. Shout outs to Barry P. Artist. He is super duper talented. So make sure you guys
What's
please
up,
go and
Barry?
follow him. You talked about mental health. My co-host Marco talks about it on his podcast. Hear Me Out. He talked about mental health within the Black community. That's something we don't really talk about a lot within our community. We continue to sweep it under the rug and just, well, why don't you go talk to God about it? Faith without work is dead. I believe that God
Amen to
put
that.
therapists for a reason. So talk to people, talk to someone. Like it's exhausting. I get it, separation anxiety, being away from your family, but there's people out here who care. So talk to
Hmm.
someone.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to talk
definitely.
this. What'd you say, Marco?
No, I was just agreeing about therapy. It has gotten me through the mud and back. It's always a safe space, and I'm always, ripping off some type of bandage of a wound that I didn't even know was covered. So,
Yeah, definitely, because people are hurt out here. People are hurt, and the hurt came from different forms of fashion. But it's not about what you've been through. It's about how you go through it, and there's a process of getting to that place of healing, so that you can completely feel free and to be happy. And that process looks different for everyone. And some people, like some people, they they are shamed, by going to counseling or speaking to. Is important, especially within the black community. And we're looking to restore that. And there were so many places where we were broke as a community. So we have to focus on those areas so that we can build, especially amongst you know, the household, separation of the fathers from the households, you know, And I think that's one of the biggest things as well.
100%, 100%. Being away from your parents, abandonment. We gotta talk about it. It's like Marco said, it's pulling off a bandage, things you
Hmm.
never know. Like, why am I angry? Why am I so upset? What's wrong with me? Like, it's okay to look in the mirror and sit down and self-reflect. There's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't
Yeah,
make
it's
you
a
less of a
must.
person.
It's a must. Self reflection is everything. So
Yes.
like personally, like I've never been perfect, and nor will I ever be perfect. Um, and you spoke about humility, and it was in within the humility that allowed me to grow and to better myself. It was the honesty and taking accountability that allowed me to grow myself, and taking a step back from everything, and to just be more conscious and watch, and to see, like, where am I going wrong in life? Why isn't this not going the way that I desire it to? And you have to be able to take that second and to think and be honest about it. And that's the place where you start to grow, and you start to change. If you don't take that accountability, you don't take the moment to think about the places where you went wrong or you need healing, then you can never move forward. You'll be bounded. It's spiritual chains. And we were, and as creations of God, we were meant to live and continue to live.
100%, 100%. All right, fashion dolls, it is about that time. We are going to get into our two games, and then we're going to do the last final question that we're going to ask Carlos. And we're going to get into these topics, ladies and gentlemen. The first one is called the Rapid Five. You have to tell us five things that Carlos can't live without.
Wow. My God first. Why are you laughing, Marco?
Because you said, wow, now I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
And it's five too, so I gotta come up with five. Okay. Okay, so God, number one. Number two, my family. Number three, food. Um, Number four, money. And y'all can use our imagination with five.
Hello.
I'm just
Okay.
being honest. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. I feel like those are the necessities of life.
All right. Those are five things. All right. It is about to get spicy. So, me and my co host Marco today are going to be getting put in the hot seat in the segment we like to call Turn the Tables. And this is where our guests get to ask us questions, uncensored, unfiltered. So, Carlos,
Okay. I guess my question is more so, as a trans woman, right? Um, I would like to know, through your platform, what do you desire, to do? What is the vision that you seek for the platform? And that goes for both of you guys as well. Because um, I'm very supportive, and I believe that I don't believe in judging anyone, and I do believe in people living their life freely.
I have for my platform is creating a safe space so we can have those black ass conversations that we don't like having. On my personal podcast, I have cried. I have been the most vulnerable ever. I said some shit on there that I didn't even think I would say. So that's how safe it is for me. And I want when people come into my space and on my platform, they can have that safe space of just telling their story. There's no judgment. We're here to learn. We're here to educate. Hell, sometimes we're here to disagree and just continue to move on with life. We can still disagree and still get along. So I always want to create a safe space and hopefully host events so we're all in the same room and still recording those conversations, but um, connecting with your cousins and your aunties and your uncles and having black ass conversations.
Okay.
I, okay, mine's before I went out. I created this platform because I wanted mainly the most marginalized groups. Like Marco said, we want to have a safe space for not just Black women, but the LGBTQ community. Everyone who is struggling through some sort of oppression in life. I want us to come together and have conversations. And, so it's not, even with, I'm just going to pick something, colorism, light skin versus dark skin, when Black is beautiful. That's how I see it. And with us being able to have these conversations on this platform is being able to open up people's mind to new things. People just like, well, oh, wow, I didn't know that. So I'm always doing lots of research, even Marco on his platform, doing lots of research and bringing awareness to these things within this community, because in the Black community, we have a lot to unpack. It's a whole lot. So we're thankful for platforms like Hear Me Out and Style by Stevie, where we both come together and work and speak on these issues that wake up the Black community and be like, wow, we don't know what Marco's saying today. We don't know what Miss Stevie's saying today, but we're going to listen. We're here to listen, you know. So that was the main
Okay.
objective when we were creating this platform, because originally I said, oh, well, I'm just going to do celebrities and pop culture. I might be the next TMZ. And that was my first mindset, because I started off very, very young. I'm 28 now. And with this whole mindset and growth and shift is completely different. So you have to go about doing things differently.
Understood. That's awesome. And I definitely applaud both of you for what you guys are doing. And I commend you and I appreciate the opportunity, of being here on this platform. Especially, it has been some great people on this platform. So to be able to be in the same shoes with them and to continue to manifest my desires and manifest my goals and make my dreams come true, and you two allowing me to actually do that here means a lot to me. And I think that, Marco, I haven't seen your podcast yet. Stevie, definitely have been following you for a while now. And I think it's amazing, what you're doing and the opportunities that you're giving to, the rising actors and models and things of that nature. Um, so continue to do what you guys are doing. Definitely proud of you.
Thank you. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
that.
much.
No problem. No
Thank you.
problem.
Yes. And that's what I want to do on my platform. It's not just the big names and things like that. I want to give everybody that is Black, that is out here doing something amazing, content creators, whether it's Black models, Black actors, Black actresses, filmmakers, producers, directors, hairstylists, makeup artists, nail techs. I've invited everybody Black on my platform. And I want everybody to have the chance to have their moment to shine. Because I spoke with Barry P on the phone today. I don't know if he's still here, but I said I want everybody to win. I want everybody that is out here being that is Black and successful to have a platform where they can come and they can promote their projects, where we can have fun, where we can have big conversations, like Marco said on.
Um, oh, there we are.
We're
We
back.
we were just talking about you need to connect to some better Wi-Fi.
Yes, I'm moving around my house. So where I'm at in South Carolina, it goes in and out. So yes, we're gonna work on that.
There's no problem. There's no problem.
But yes, you get to ask as many questions as you want to me and Marco.
Okay. So you kind of told me, the vision that you have. Both of you guys
Hmm.
basically, have told me the vision that you have for your platform. So what does success look like for you guys within the next, 6 months to a year to 5 years?
Mm.
Oh, and I said it
You go at
yesterday.
first.
You want to go first, Marco?
No, you can go first. I gotta think about this one. This is a good one.
In next few years to a year, um, I've said I wanted my own network. We've already got BET, but what about other platforms that are unapologetically black? I want to have my own network. Style by Stevie will be on there, but it will be other programs and other film developers, film content creators, so many things on there that are unapologetically black. I want everybody that is black that is in this business to have a platform where they can go and they're representative. It's all about inclusion and diversity. And the thing about it is people think when it pertains to diversity, it's just this. No, there's so many things to it. There's ageism, there's sexism, there's so many different things. So many people go through so many different things when it pertains to diversity. But I want a network that is for the black experience. You know, we have Black Entertainment Television, BET, but my network would be similar to BET, but it would be a little bit different because I would include the LGBTQ community, which barely is represented on television, and so much more on there. So that's what I would love to have. And I would love to work with fashion. I would love to design clothing. Of course, y'all knew I was going to say that because I'm always
I was
changing
waiting
up my
for it.
look. Yes, fashion, and of course, I would like to do something with beauty, maybe makeup, and things like that.
That's dope. Um, I'm gonna do a year. Um, by next year, next Thanksgiving. That's a good stamping point. I would want my platform to be more successful in the Atlanta area. I've been working with people in the entertainment industry, so hopefully I'll get, like an hour segment on a radio show here, but making my voice more vocally known and getting my foot out there to not only create my own space, like on streaming platforms, but also in the city too. So, um, and of course, interviewing other content creators like both of you guys and, supporting us all. Because just like both of you guys said, we all go in. There's enough money in the world for everybody. We just got to collectively put our head together and see how we can use each other and monopolize off of it. So we got the pieces. We just got to put the puzzle together.
That's
Definitely,
right.
definitely.
And it
Okay,
takes a
okay.
team to do it.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Let's see. What are 5 things that you can't live without? And that's for
Um,
both of
Both of
you.
us?
Yes.
Okay. Five things I can't live without: God, my family, uh, highlighter. That's number three. Um, four. I would have to say a good book. I love to read. I'm always in a book. I'm a bookworm, so I'm always reading. And number five, fashion. Fashion.
chocolate chip cookies, and I'm not talking Any chocolate chip cookies, I'm talking fresh out the oven chocolate chip cookies. Um, I can't live without peace. I have peace and space, energy, all that is very important to me, so I cannot live without that. Um, Traveling. I love exploring. I love learning. I love going to museums and just finding out random facts. Do you guys know that the first Burger King was in Jacksonville, Florida?
No,
See?
did not know that.
First, yep, the original Burger King is in Jacksonville, Florida. Um, and number five, um, sleep. I can't live without sleep. I love sleeping. Um, Yeah, I know they say you sleep when you're dead, but I'm gonna get me a nap if I'm tired. I'm gonna get me a nap.
Okay, alrighty. Well, I guess last but not least, um, when you okay, so when you look back, years from now, when you both are like old and gray, um, you know, besides your career objectives, like what when you look back, what would make you say like I'm happy about what I did, and what I did is such and such. So what is that for you two?
Of course, it would be wisdom. But looking back throughout my career, as you saying, as we get, up there in age, as we grow older, um, I would say I've made my mark. I've made my mark. I've came and I did what God told me to do because we all have a purpose. He all has given us a purpose. So I would look back on my career and said, "Dog, you've overcome so many challenges. You've made it. You're here now, so you can sit back and you can watch and laugh at some of your work because even sometimes we all have our moments. So it's like a timeline for me. It's like going back from then and looking back then and then seeing where we're at now." So I would probably still be doing the same thing as I get older, as I get up there in age, because my grandmother does it. It's about, again, what we said in the beginning of the interview, self-reflection. Why would I say that? Why would I do those things? And you've accomplished this. You've got this. You've done the job. You've done the mission. So that's what I would probably be doing, sitting back and just reminiscing and, critiquing a few things.
Mhm. Beautifully said. Um, I'll probably be in the mountains somewhere in the cabin reflecting, um, and just telling myself I did that shit. Like going through the struggle, knowing, there are gray days ahead. There are days that you are not going to know what the hell to do. Um, and you've gotten through all that. Like there's nothing that you can't attack. Just like Beyonce said, I was here. I made my mark. Um, and overall, hope to inspire people behind me or in front of me, next to me. And yeah.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. Well, I'm here for it. And I can't wait to see the wonderful things that you guys have in store.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. There's so much more to come. It is so much more to come. Now, final question is for you. Where do you see yourself and your modeling career and acting career in the next few years?
Uh, Modeling in New York Fashion Week. Definitely. and maybe I should, but
I think you
yeah,
should.
I think that if I can audition for Ryan Coogler and actually get a landing role with him, that would be nice. Um, but just to continue to progress, and I think what's most important for me is not necessarily how much progress I'm making, but rather that I'm making progress. And I'm grateful through that process. I'm grateful for everything within that process. So within the next few years, I have some other things in plan in store as well. Like launching a business and things of that nature. But other than that, just continue to acquire more projects. Be a part of more productions, hit more runways,
Hmm.
and and that would satisfy me. Because regardless, financially, I'm gonna find a way, to make money. So this is just something that I really enjoy doing. It's a passion of mine. So that's why I'm doing it. So I'm not necessarily looking for the financial gain in it, even though it will come. Um, but just the opportunity of being able to do it is what, I'm most happy and grateful for. And having so many wonderful people like you two, that believe in me as well.
Yes.
Again, that strong support circle.
Yes, definitely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our interview with the one and only Mr. Carlos Pope. Thank you so much for coming on. And we've been longly awaiting for this interview. We definitely would love to
Yes,
have
we
you back
have
on.
been.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. We've been waiting for a long time, but we finally made it happen. And like I said, I really appreciate you for allowing me the opportunity of being here. And it was a pleasure speaking with you too. And you guys continue to do great things. I'll be watching.
We'll be listening.
Absolutely. And we definitely will be watching too.
Yes, yes. All righty.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Carlos Pope, thank you so much for coming on. And we'd love to have you back on in the future.
Yes, definitely. Anytime. Just let me know.
I sure will. Thank you. All
No
right, ladies
problem.
and gentlemen, that's our interview with Carlos Pope. We're about to get into some of these topics. All right, ladies and
Talk to you
gentlemen,
guys later.
you too. Take care.
All right, bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, you guys, are you ready to get into some of these topics? All right, so let's get into the first one. The first one was pretty funny. Me and my mom keyed at this. The first one is about bags of money spilling out from an armored truck on the San Diego freeway, and Jelly Beans urged the motorist to return the cash within to 48 hours. All right. A traffic incident happened where the doors of an armored truck heading towards the reserve flew open and bags of money came flying out into the Interstate 5 of Carlsbad, California at 9:15 a.m. All right. Okay. The question of the day is if a bunch of money flew out of a truck or if it was thousands and millions of dollars, everyone, it was a lot of people everywhere, what would you do? Would you guys return it or would you guys just leave it?
You already know me. I'm a real nigga. I'm taking the money and going. I watched the video, and there was also somebody smart enough to put like a towel or something over or their license plates. I was like, oh, that's smart because once the video goes viral, they can Google that and then come to your house. And I'm like,
Huh?
y'all see
All right, are we back, y'all?
Yes.
All right, yes. Um, Listen, me and my mom was laughing at this thing. The people were just, and y'all love, what makes it so bad is they can go back. Like Marco said, they can go back and they can find out where you're at. And y'all were flashing the money. Oh, y'all were just having such a jolly good time. It was funny, but it reminded me of an episode of the show with Jessica Fletcher where money flew out into the street and everybody came up and they just started picking. So yeah, um, I don't think people gonna return this within 48 hours. I honestly don't.
No. Mine is going straight into my account.
All right. All right, y'all. So that was the first topic. All right, the next one is Idris Elba in talks to play the villain in the James Bond movie. All right, according to reports, he has a new offer to play the role of an original villain in the newest James Bond film. Now, as previously reported, he was recently stated that he wouldn't be the next James Bond star. However, according to a new surfaced information from insiders, an offer could still be possibly on the table to create a whole new character. Now, could he be preparing to play the brand new original villain in the James Bond franchise? A source said Idris has been in formal talks with the studio, and he has been told there is a role in the next Bond film for him if he wants it. I say go for it and take it.
We need a black James Bond. We ain't never had one.
Never.
So
I
I
mean,
say,
the Bond girls have been black. Grace Jones, Gloria Hendry, Holly Berry.
do it to piss him off.
Yes, Naomi Harris. I think she played what is it, M, the character of M. So yeah, we need that.
Hmm.
Again, but these film directors, we know how they are.
Oh, we definitely know how they are, child.
All right, fashion dolls. The next topic is one of the most controversial rappers there is, but I love what he said and what he wants to do, and that's Kodak Black. Kodak Black said that he is going back to college. Now, Marco, for the HBCUs, what are your thoughts on this?
Um, as much as I want to talk shit about him because he is a controversial rapper, um, I'm proud of him. I'm proud. That's a really big decision. Um, yeah, and I think he should if he wants to go. What is he studying? Did they tell us, or he just mentioned that he was going back to school?
No,
Whatever it
he didn't
is,
even tell us. He wants to go back to school.
well, whatever he wants to go back to school for, I accept it and I approve it. I like that.
I'm
Do,
here for it 100%. There's nothing wrong with going back and getting an education because, I mean, so many, I think it was K. Michelle. A lot of people
Mhm.
said, oh, well, oh my God, I wish I could go back to school. Even Meg Thee Stallion, she just graduated not too long ago. And now she's working with Popeye. She's got her franchises. She's working with Revlon. So
Mhm.
it's all about having that hustle when all this is said and done. When the money runs low, when you out, when you don't want to do no more of your career or anything,
Go
you
back
got
to
to have
school.
something to fall back on. So go for it. Education is important. I'm telling you.
Yes.
All right. The next topic. Shout outs to Dennis Rodman for giving props where props is due. He says that he revealed that he contemplated, and he says that the LGBTQ community loved me as he opened up about fashion trends over the years. He calls himself the guinea pig of the family. So he gave us credit for some of his fashion trends and all of these things. And I guess this means that Dennis Rodman is an ally. Marco, your thoughts?
I thought he was gay this whole time. But you know what? Each of their own. That's none of my business, actually. I approve of that message. And I'm glad someone is speaking up. Just like it was some white man, he was straight, but he had like a skirt on of some sort, and they gave him like some type of award. But Billy Porter was in an interview saying trends and things. So I'm all here for it.
And you're talking about Harry Styles. It was Harry Styles that was on the cover of Vogue, and Billy Porter called it out. Yeah, we know the hypocrisy in the fashion industry. My thing is this: when it pertains to black men being free to express themselves with fashion, like Cam Newton, for example, so many of these guys out here, Kanye West, of course, in his own little world. Kid Cudi, all of them, like these men are Pharrell. All of these men have their own sense of fashion sense. So when it pertains to Dennis Rodman, he set the own trends, the different hair colors, different things like that. Some of his looks became Halloween costumes, all of these things. So thank you for giving credit where credit is due. The LGBTQ community, we are the movers, the shakers, the makers out here when it comes to the fashion trends, when it comes to the beauty trends, when it comes to the slang, the lingo, all of these things, we cover that. So yeah, and speaking out on mental health as well too. Again, what we just talked about in the interview with Carlos, very important. We never knew that.
Right.
All right, fashion dolls. The next topic. Oh God. Okay, that's what we're doing. Okay. All right. Oh Lord. Today's toxic man of the day, well, men go to Kyle Rittenhouse and Zach Stacy. Okay. Kyle Rittenhouse was found not guilty on the charges. Um, and I'm gonna just go through that. I don't even have to read the whole thing because I've been waiting to say something about it. People have been waiting to hear my response on it. And I'll just say this. Um, when you're white in America, you can break the rules and face no consequences. You just get a pat on the wrist and you go and you do interviews with Fox News and 60 Minutes and like so and so forth. I digress. The white
Hmm.
privilege is real out here, y'all. And we also got breaking news that the three men accused, well, the three men who did this to Ahmaud Arbery have been found guilty. The jury, the genetic makeup, 11 of them was white. So that is like, okay, we just gonna go on ahead and give you this guilty verdict, but they have to go to federal court too now. And if they appeal, just like they tried to do with the George Floyd case, all hell is gonna break loose.
Yo, I hope it does not get to that point. Um, yeah, I'm still saying positive thoughts. I think it's gonna be. I hate to call it like a win or a loss, like it's a game, because it's not a game. But this, we're gonna go home with this victory, and this is gonna be one step closer to justice for Black people in the United States. But they have that zero point 0.1 chance of pissing me off. But inside, I feel it. We changed Georgia Blue last year. We are getting some old people out of office and in their wheelchairs versus seats in the city council and things like that. So I think slowly but surely, if they do, obviously it's going to be good for the country. But if they don't, like you said, I think it's going to be another George Floyd. Everybody walk out, don't go to work, let's march for X amount of days. But yeah, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna get uglier than what it was.
And racial tension is definitely coming to a head. Like people were literally protesting outside of the courthouse.
Hmm.
So this is not a game. Y'all could play around with the system if you want to, but this definitely right here it's not a game. And we know that this system is not for us, people of color. They again the most marginalized. So all right, speaking of the system, Zach Stacy was released on 10K bond after the judge ordered the NFL player to have no contact with his ex girlfriend. Now, we've seen in the video of him abusing his girlfriend. And we're back. Okay, yes. I didn't want to post it because I know how they are here, and I've been putting IGJAIL since the 18th. I got out on the 18th. Um, when I seen this video, I was very disgusted because I put it in my stories. I said the NFL has a problem with talking about DV, domestic violence. They have a huge problem, and it's clearly evident. We've seen so many incidents from not Michael Vick, Chad Ochocinco to Ray Rice, the
Yeah.
infamous elevator video. So it's just like at some point in time, you guys need to come out and address this. This is continuing to go on. It's athletes, it's black male athletes with power and privilege. This was totally disgusting watching this video of this literally, and the child was right there in the video. And he gets out on 10K bond. Again, it just goes to show you that the system is not for protecting POC, and it is not for protecting women.
That video was definitely disgusting. I think it was like a 60-second video. I'm sure I watched a good 15 seconds of it, and I was like, I seen enough. Like, he was basically hitting her like she was a man. Like, you could have fractured her bone. The baby looked it. The baby looked pretty young, so she's probably dealing with postpartum. Her body is, getting back to quote unquote normal, whatever that is for that person's body. But it's just, I don't know. Therapy, y'all. Y'all make too much money not to have a therapist. You should not. And I know that wasn't the first time. That was just the first time we heard about it.
At all.
It looked too normal.
Like this is an ongoing thing, and these women are afraid to speak out. And so the people are saying, "Oh, well, you biased because she's a woman." No. This is a problem that has been going on for years. If you go back, Mike Tyson and Robin Givens. Let's go all the way back. Of these NFL players, athletes putting their hands on their wives and girlfriends.
Hmm.
What is the issue here?
I don't know. I can't. I can't even seem to know. Y'all got the best life. Y'all get paid millions of dollars to run up and down the field. Any girl will want you. I don't know. It's just.
Oh my goodness, whatever it is, my goodness. And speaking of unpacking, shout outs to Ari Lennox. This is what she had to say. So many traumas to unpack and sort through before bringing life into this world. I agree with her 100%. And I just said this in the interview. We just said this with Carlos, me and Marco, is that we got to, in the black community, we got a lot to unpack. It's a whole lot, from colorism to basically, oh, your skin is not light enough, it's not dark enough, you're not black enough, all of this. It's a whole lot we got to unpack within our community. Colorism is one of the things. Body shaming, so many things. Even when it comes to money status. Oh, my money long, your money ain't long. You broke, you stay here, you sleep there. Like, that's the first thing we go for. It's below the belt.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we got a
Yeah.
lot to work on.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a lot to unpack, especially us in the community. Not only do we have to unpackage things of being black, we have to unpackage things of, being lesbian or gay or trans or, non-binary. Like, it's just, and on top of that, just being fucking black. Like,
Yes,
it's a lot.
absolutely. All right, y'all, and we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We got two more topics, ladies and gentlemen. Shout outs to Marco for this amazing topic. You want to take it, Marco?
Yes. So, my bad. What's the young lady's name? I'm having a blank right now.
Patrice Banks. Patrice Banks.
Patrice Banks is a CEO um of an automobile shop, and while you wait, you can get your hair, your nails, everything did all at once. And I was like, why wouldn't I think of this? Because first of all, don't nobody ever want to take their cars at the shop. And if I do, it's probably on a random Saturday that magically happen to land on things I got to get done, like my hair, my nails, and things. So I just think it's fucking great. Black women are taking over the world. Y'all, this is out of Philadelphia too. So shout out to y'all being smart and using all y'all businesses up north. I want to go just to go, like just to. Not saying that I need my car fixed. I just want to see the whole setup and things. You know.
I love this topic. I love it. I'm here for it. And she's in an industry that is so male dominated. She said in response to a national
Mm-hmm.
problem of women being taken advantage of in many auto repair shops by men, Patrice launched her own company to give women a better and more comfortable experience because it can be alarming going to a auto shop, whether it's to get your tires rotated or something. My aunt has had experiences. She went over there to get her tires rotated. They gave her a difficult time. Black owned by male, of course. And I think this right here will definitely be the amazing tip of the top of the cherry on the top of the ice cream. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Because waiting a while, you just like, I got things to do. And you can do that while you're getting your car worked on. So that's amazing. So shout outs to Patrice on this. All right. The last topic, ladies and gentlemen, y'all gonna be a little upset because y'all know we go here to get our Christmas wrapping paper for the holidays and things to decorate our tables with and clean our homes with and things like that and little snacks. Dollar Tree will be $1.25 by 2022. I definitely have to tell my mom about this. Dollar Tree is about to pat our pockets and purses for an extra 25 cents by the first quarter of 2022, as a majority of its products will be $1.25. My mama told me that the stuff in the store was going to go up. So I'm guessing that this is food items and things and such. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't like it. I don't like it.
I hate it. I was devastated when I heard that. I love Dollar Tree. Like now, I gotta find like $1.25 including tax. It was already hard to find that extra quarter. So yeah,
It's ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure they're going to lose a lot of business through that. Like people, especially during this time, the holidays, we got to get last minute things like the things to put turkey and the trays and all these things. Like you're going to charge $1.25 for that. So I'm not interested. I don't like it. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to lose business on this. But y'all going to regret it.
they are, and I think they're trying to make up from their losses during the pandemic. But
Hmm.
there gotta be a different way that you can go about it, like cut paper back, or you know, like like in the corporate world, it's just things that you guys are just wasting money on, and you don't even know. So yeah,
All right, fashion dolls, that is the last topic, and we welcomed our new co-host for today, Marcodeprence, who will be with us officially Wednesdays. I'm super excited, which will be one day that we can cover our topics and hit a few good interviews.
yeah.
Now, Saturday, we have Daryl DC Chambers. There won't be a show tomorrow or Friday because it's Thanksgiving holidays. So Saturday morning, we will be here 9 a.m. Daryl DC Chambers. And then next week we have Steven Sticks, Josie, and then December. Again, thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to let my new co-host close out the show today.
All right, you ready for this?
All right.
We are going to leave on a positive affirmation. So I want to know, what are you thankful for, and how are you going to use the last, I think it's like 40 days, maybe 39 days of the remainder of this year?
I am thankful for being here, being alive, because it has been trying. It's been so scary for all of us. So I'm thankful to be here, to just be alive, and that's God's grace. And how would I spend the last few of these days? Just celebrating life and continuing to celebrating life to another year. I'm thankful to see 28. At first, I'm just like, oh God, I'm not gonna make it, but I'm here.
Okay, I love that. I'm going to use the last, we're going to say 39 days of this year to just be at peace, just go out with a nice, peaceful bang, and just take time to enjoy. I've been so busy this whole year and stressed out and like thinking too far ahead, but I'm just going to just try to start a new habit of just enjoying the moment and not stress too much about the future.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. All right, fashion dolls, those are our affirmations. We want you guys to have a safe and blessed Thanksgiving holidays. Spend time with your family. Be safe, of course. And we will see you guys Saturday and Tuesday. And we'll be back in December. So we love you guys. Take care. And make sure you guys go and check out my new co-host podcast, Hear Me Out. It is definitely worth listening to. Please do that. Take care, everyone. And welcome my new co-host, Marcodeprence. Love you all. Take care, fashion dolls.